Hey everybody, Backpack Hack here coming at you with another trail tip, and I'm just vac sealing some stuff for long-term storage. And I've been asked how I vac seal standard ordinary Mylar bags. The Mylar bags I buy are just flat on both sides, and a lot of people will try to vacuum seal one of these, and the problem is these things are absolutely flat. When you put them into the vacuum sealer, it can't draw air between these two flat surfaces. They're too close together and they basically seal up, and the machine can't pull air out of the bag. Now, a lot of people will put things into a Mylar bag and then put it inside a standard vac seal bag. I think that's kind of wasteful because there is a way that most ordinary vac sealers can seal one of these Mylar bags. Now, they do make Mylar bags that are specially designed for vacuum sealers. And what makes them special is when you look at a standard food saver bag, it will be flat on one side and will have a texture on the other. And that texture allows a space between the two layers. There's ribs, kind of like the corrugations in cardboard that you see in like a moving box or something. It allows a space to be made between the two sheets. And then when you seal it, it just melts it all together. They do make Mylar bags that have that feature, that are designed for vacuum sealers. They also make some vacuum sealers that have a special attachment or built specifically for doing Mylar bags built into them. But those kind of get expensive. My method is to simply use parts of this bag to seal one of these. And if you look close, I've got a couple tabs, little pieces of plastic, and that is actually these little pieces that I have cut out of one of these. So I'll bring the camera in here and I'll show you exactly what I mean. But usually what happens is when I seal something up, you've got this edge here, this piece between the seal and the end of the bag. You can just cut that off. And now you've got, my phone just let me know I had a message, and cut off this ribbed portion and throw this away. Now you can cut this into 2 or 3 pieces and use them for this. So I'm going to bring the camera around here and I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. The way a vacuum seal bag works is, if you look close, there is one side that is nice and flat, and the other side has this ribbed texture. And again, that rib is what allows these little channels to be formed between the two layers so air can be sucked out by the machine. Now, a standard Mylar bag that I use is just flat on both sides and doesn't have those channels. And like I said, although they make Mylar bags that have this feature built into them, I don't buy them because I've come up with a method that I can use to seal these Mylar bags. And it uses parts of this bag. What you really need is a little bit of this ribbed side, just like this. And the principle is you put that into the bag between the two layers of the Mylar and have it stick out just a little bit, and then you can put it in the machine and you make sure that you have enough length to get past your seal so it can use the channels that are in that little piece of the plastic to go through and draw the air out. Now, my method uses 2 of these. I will put 1 in each corner. And the reason I put them in the corners is so when this bag has whatever I'm going to seal in it, I can adjust them like this, and then I can pinch them with my thumb and forefinger and not only hold them in place, but that allows me to get this up into the sealer and get it all dressed up before I close the lid. And then the air can be drawn out through these 2 areas. Now, where do I get these? Well, easy. You can take a pair of scissors and just cut up standard roll or prefabricated pieces. When I vacuum seal something in here, I may have a strip this long or this wide above the seal. So I'll just take a pair of scissors and cut that out, and I will end up with something like this. Sometimes I will open up a bag that has had something sealed in it and is relatively clean, so I can just cut this complete side off with a pair of scissors wash it up, let it dry, and then I've got a perfectly good source for a lot of these little pieces of this vac-seal bag. So either way you do it, all you need to do is just cut out pieces of this ribbed side. The flat side you just throw away, and you end up making a bunch of these little strips, just like that. That's all you need, is just little strips. And like I said, you can do that with a whole bag or a piece of the roll, or the ends that you cut off of bags that you have sealed in the past. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here for a second and get this package ready to go. I'm vac sealing some powdered milk today, so I'm going to go ahead and get this all prepared, because you don't need to see that, and I'll show you exactly how I do this. Okay, so now I've got my powdered milk in there with the oxygen absorber, and now I'm going to take my two little pieces of the plastic bag, and this takes some dexterity to get used to doing, but you need to put them in between the two layers, and sometimes they curl up, so I take a pair of scissors and uncurl them like you're going to curl a ribbon to straighten them out, because for some reason they like to curl up. I don't know the physics behind that, nor do I care, but this is the solution. And it takes, like I say, it takes a little bit of dexterity, but that's the reason I put them here in the corners, is once I get them in place, I have the ability to not only hold them in place so they don't slide in or slide out, as well as dress my package up a little bit to make it a little bit better for sealing. And that allows me to get right up in here and place this into the sealer and keep those things in place. They don't have to stick out too far. They just have to stick out a little bit. You don't want them to stick out so far that they come up over the seal here, because it's going to try to draw air from outside the seal too. So you want to make sure that the ends are up here in the vacuum chamber. And you need a vacuum seal that can have separate vacuum and seal functions. If I just hit the start, it won't draw all the air out, because this takes a little bit longer, because it doesn't have this whole length to draw air through. It'll only draw air through the ends here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the vacuum button here, and it's going to get a little noisy. And I'll show you how this looks. You can see that it's drawing the air in. And before it gets too far along, I'm going to dress this package up to make it store a little bit better. But you can see that it's making that regular brick shape that you're used to, good and tight. And once I'm pretty sure that it's got all the air out, I go ahead and hit the seal button. And there we have a seal. And as always, I seal twice because I'm doing this for long-term storage. And there you have it, a vac-sealed package using a standard Mylar bag. So this is Backpack Hat coming at you with this trail tip on how to seal standard Mylar bags using bits and pieces of leftover plastic vac-seal bags. Be safe out there. I'll see you out on the trail, or in this case, on the other side if shit hits the fan.